Hi, this is Mr. Erdman. This is Geometry 11.3 Notes. Okay, so we're going to cover some problems here, and we're going to actually find parts of the formula. We're not just going to solve for lateral area, surface area. We're going to find out parts of the formula that we have to find. So the first problem is we have 5 edges of a prism, 8, 15, 18, and 10. We also have another one we don't know what that is. That's going to equal our perimeter. So if we add that together, it's going to be 51 plus x equals our perimeter. So that's what we have right here. Our height is 11, so h equals 11. So if we plug this in, well, we have lateral area is 660. We have 660 equals our perimeter, which is 51 plus x times 11. Now to solve this, we're going to divide both sides by 11. So 60 equals 51 plus x. Subtract our 51 from both sides. X would equal 9 centimeters. So 9 centimeters is our fifth edge. Okay, so the second problem. A rectangular prism has a surface area of 420 inches squared. That's surface area. The lateral area is 210. Find the area of the base. Well, if we look at these two formulas, which one are we going to use? We're actually going to use surface area because we have surface area, lateral area, and we want to find our base. So 420 would equal 210 plus 2 of our bases, and that's what we want to find out. So if we subtract 210, we end up with 210 equal 2 bases. And if we divide by 2, our base would equal 105 inches squared. Our third problem, we have the volume of a cube is 1,000 centimeters squared. What is the surface area? Well, we're going to have to use this first so we can figure out the rest. So if our volume is 1,000, our base of a cube, we have our cube here. Say if this is x, our height is x. So our base would be x squared, x times x. Our height is also x. So x squared plus x is x cubed. To figure out what our side is, or edges of each of our cube is, we take the cube root, and the cube root of 1,000 is 10. Now we can find our surface area. Okay, so our lateral area is perimeter times height. Well, our perimeter on here, if these each are 10, would be 40. Our height would also be 10. So that would equal 400. Now, so our surface area is our lateral area is 400 plus 2 times our base. Well, what is our base? 10 times 10, which should be 200. So 400 plus 200 is 600 centimeters squared for our surface area. Okay. The volume of a cylinder is 85 centimeters cubed, so that's V. The height of the cylinder is 3. Find the radius. Well, the volume formula, base times height, for a cylinder is pi r squared h. So we have 85 equal pi. Radius, we don't know. Our height is 3. So to solve this, we have to divide by 3 pi. Okay. So that would give us, I believe it's 9.0. I'm actually going to show this here. To do this, we take 85 divided by, now here's the problem. We want 3 pi. So if we do it this way and we put pi in with it, we're not going to get the correct answer. So we're going to do divide by 3, and also we want to divide by pi. So it's 9.019. Now we take the square root, and the square root of that, r, would equal 3 second square root. Bring that back. 3.003 centimeters. All right, so our next problem. We have a prism has a volume of 144. Its height is 12. Find the area of the base. Well, we have volume 144. We're looking for our base, and our height is 12. So we just divide by 12. Our base would equal 12 inches squared. Okay. The regular prism has a base of 6 and a height or width of 4. So it means if we have a prism, this is 8, this is 4. We need our height. Our volume is 160. Find the height. Well, it would be 160 equals our base times our height. Well, the base would be 8 times 4, or 32, 32h. Now, if we divide by 32, our height equals 5 centimeters. Okay, on the next problem, we're trying to find the volume of the pipe. It's not the hole in the middle. It's actually the volume of the material that makes up the pipe. So to figure this out, we have to have the volume of the whole pipe minus the volume of the center, or the inside. That would give us the volume of the pipe. So volume is pi r squared h. So pi, the radius of the outside, if the diameter is 6, the radius is 3, and our height is 5. So 3 squared is 9 times 5 is 45 pi. Now on the inside, our diameter is 2, so our radius is 1. That would be pi 1 squared, our height is 5. Well, 1 squared is 1 times 5 is 5, so we have 5 pi. So we subtract 45 minus 5 pi, we get 40 pi centimeters cubed. So the volume of a cylinder is 140 inches cubed. The radius is 3. Find the height. Well, we put in 120 equals pi. R is 3. 3 squared times the height. So 120, 9 pi times our height. We divide by 9 pi. Our height would equal 4.25 inches. So that would be, again, go back and do 120 divided by 9 equals divided by pi, 4.2, I think 4. You want to keep it that way. Okay, so that's finding values in a formula when we have what it equals. Now we're going to talk about some dimensional analysis, which we have done before. When you go from like inches to feet, feet to yards, that type of thing. So for example, if we wanted to do how many minutes are in 7 hours, we would multiply by 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So up here, when we try to do our conversion, we have the unit we want over what we're trying to get rid of. So we're trying to get rid of the hours, and we want the minutes. So there's 60 minutes and 1 hour. So the hours would cancel each other. So then 7 times 60 is 420 minutes is what we have left. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to do this when we have area and we have volume. So one thing you should know is 1 foot equals 12 inches. Right? So if we want to know how many square inches are in 1 foot squared, we would do 12 inches over 1 foot times 12, oops, sorry, this is all times 12 inches over 1 foot. These 2 feet would cancel. So you have to do it twice. So that would equal 144 inches squared. So 1 foot squared equals 144 inches squared. So how many square inches are in 8 square feet? Well, we would do times 12 inches over 1 foot, 12 inches over 1 foot. The feet would cancel. 12 times 12 times 8 would be 1,152 inches squared. Now, how many cubic feet are in a cubic yard? Well, we'd have 1 yard cubed times 1 foot over, or 3 feet over 1 yard, but we have to do that 3 times over 1 yard. So all these 3 yards, sorry, that's cube, would cancel that out. So 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So 1 yard cubed is equal to 27 feet cubed. So how many cubic feet are in 4 cubic yards? Well, we could do like we did up there. 3 feet over 1 yard times 3 feet over 1 yard is 3 feet over 1 yard. These cancel. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 27 times 4 would be 108 feet cubed. Now this example at the bottom, how many square kilometers are in equal to 7 meters cubed? Well, in this one's a little bit different. We want to go to kilometers. So in 1 kilometers, there's 1,000 meters. So it's squared, we're going to have to do this twice. So meters and meters cancel out. So we have 7 over 100 million, which would equal 0.1234567 kilometers squared. Also, if we have this, how many yards are in 360 inches? Well, we're going to have to do this twice, because 1 foot is 12 inches. And then 1 yard is 3 feet. So inches and inches cancel out, feet and feet cancel out. So it'll be 360 over 36, 12 times 3, which would give us 10 yards. Okay, so we're going to use that to solve a couple problems. The first problem we have is the sidewalk is to be 60 feet long and 3 feet wide. And it's going to be 4 inches tall. So this is actually a volume problem. So our volume is base times height. Well, our base is 3 times 60. So that's going to be 180 feet squared. Now the problem is our height is 4 inches. How many feet is that? Well, 1 foot over 12 inches would give us, oops, sorry, inches cancel, 4 over 12, which is 1/3 of a foot. And we're doing it this way so we can keep our numbers a little bit smaller. So we're going to multiply that by 1/3. So 180 divided by 3 basically would be 60 feet cubed, because this is in feet. Got to have all the units in the same unit, all the measurements the same unit. Now, to figure out how much we need in cubic yards, 60 feet cubed, we said on the previous page that 1 yard cubed is 27 feet cubed. So if we divide 60 by 27, we get approximately 2.2 cubic yards. The second problem, we're doing it similar. We're going to make a garden that's 70 by 60 feet. And it's going to be, the amount of dirt we need is 4 inches thick. So again, volume equals 70 times 60. Now again, 4 inches is 1/3 of a foot. So this would be 4,200 times 1/3 would be 1,400 feet cubed. Now, it doesn't ask us what to put that units in, so we can just leave it like that. 1,400 feet cubed. If we wanted to get cubic yards, we divide it by 27. So the second part of the problem is we need to buy 1,400 cubic feet of dirt. We can buy it for $2.50 for a 3-pound bag with free delivery. That's option 1. So to figure out our cost, we would divide that by 3 feet cubed, which would give us 466.7 bags we need, because there's 3 feet in each bag. But we have to round that up to 467 to figure out our cost, because we can't buy a partial bag, times $2.50 would give us $1,167.50 for our cost. The second option is it's $25 per cubic yard plus $20 fee. So if we take our 1,400 feet cubed, we need to figure out how many cubic yards we need. We divide it by 27. So that would give us approximately 51.85 cubic yards. Now, if that costs $25 per yard, we'd multiply that by 25, which would give us $1,296.25. Plus our $20 delivery charge, we end up with $1,316.25. So which one is cheaper? Well, option 1 is. So we would probably buy that if we wanted to carry all the bags. All right, good luck on your worksheet, and we'll talk to you next time.